Take it away, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm Nancy Wertine.
And I'm Kim Howie, and we're so excited to be with you all today.
Yeah, we're really honored. Together we make up the Wisdom Coalition, and we're going to be talking with you today about mindset. And what we've discovered in our research into positive psychology is that mindset is really the foundation for everything in your life. And so you really have to take a look inside and understand your mindset and figure out what you're saying to yourself, how you're saying it, and also why you're saying it, because that's what we help people do, is develop a mindset that's going to propel you forward and give you opportunities to find joy versus a mindset that's going to hold you back and prevent you from finding those opportunities.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to you today about rising above negative self-talk so that you can find more joy in your life. And so bear with me for a minute, because I'm going to share our screen. Let's see how we do.
Yeah, because, you know, time after time when we interact with people, especially women, we find that negative self-talk is really one of those touch points that we find we have to address over and over again. So that was why, knowing we were going to be in front of a group of women, we wanted to talk really about negative self-talk.
Yeah, so I just want to draw your attention to the picture that's on the right-hand side of the screen. Hopefully you all are seeing my screen now. And what you'll see is a beautiful yellow banana looking into a mirror and seeing a rotten brown banana in the reflection. And I stumbled upon this picture several years ago. I was sitting on the couch with my then 13-year-old daughter and my husband, and I was scrolling through the internet and this picture popped up and I literally gasped. And it was funny, my daughter said, "What? Let me see." And I showed it to her and she said, "Oh my gosh, I can so relate to that. I so get that." And then my husband said, "Well, let me see." I show him the picture and he stares at it for what seems like an eternity, really. And then he goes, "I don't get it. I don't understand." He says, "Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't the brown banana be looking in the mirror and seeing the yellow banana? You know, like the old man who looks in the mirror and says, 'You got this. You still look good.'" And honestly, my first thought was, "Oh, wow, my next lifetime, I am definitely coming back as a man."
Yeah.
But then my next thought was, okay, here's the truth is, we all struggle with negative self-talk. That inner critic, we all have it.
Yeah, we all do. And really, it's not our fault because there is something called the negativity bias. And what that means is that our brains, they actually naturally go toward negative things and focus on those things versus trying to look for positive things.
Yeah, we want to give you sort of an opportunity to visualize what this does to us when we have that negative self-talk going on all the time in our head. So imagine, if you would, that you have the opportunity to write on your hand every single thought that that inner critic says to you. You know, "I'm not good enough. I'm not successful enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm just not enough," right? Imagine that's written on the palm of your hand. And now take your hand and put it in front of your face. That's what it's like as you're navigating through life with all that negativity. All you see is that negativity in front of you. And as you slowly pull your hand away from your face and down a little bit, you notice that the whole world is opening up for you to see. And that's what we're hoping to do for you today.
Yeah, and you know, when we go through that exercise, it's really, and I hope you did it too, because it really just shows you that you're blocking yourself, you know? So we want to talk to you about the truth about mindset, because as we said, it's the foundation. And the truth is that you control your mindset and not the other way around. I don't know about you, but like years ago, I used to think to myself, you know, by the end of the day, I'd sort of rack up in two columns, you know, what happened that was good, what happened that was bad. And if there were more things in the good, well, then I was happy, right? And I had a good day. But that's not the way it works at all. In fact, we control our mindset, not our outside circumstances.
Yeah, and it's a choice we can make every single day. And like Nancy mentioned earlier, this negativity bias, our brains are actually hardwired for negativity, for our own survival. But the fact is, we can create these new neural pathways in our brain to actually look for positivity.
Yeah, and then we can create an upward spiral. I mean, I think we're all familiar with the downward spiral, and that's not what we want. But by being more positive and catching more positivity and acting more positive toward people, I mean, this is our path to joy, creating that upward spiral.
Yeah, and then that ripples out, right? That ripple effect, like when you throw a stone across a pond, right? You want your positivity to ripple out into every exchange you have with other people, all of your relationships.
Yeah, and this next one, your thoughts impact your health. And I think we all know that, but you really have to think that through. What you're thinking impacts your health. I mean, that is so important.
Yeah, it's amazing. It creates this cascade of hormonal releases, right? So when we're thinking negative thoughts, we have those harmful hormones that are being released in our body, and they create inflammation. And that inflammation is at the root of many diseases in our lives. So thinking through our mindset and being more positive not only helps our emotional well-being, but also our physical health.
Yeah, there are so many benefits to positivity, and that's what we try to help people with, trying to understand how they can naturally reach for positivity. But you do have to make that intention. And so the benefits of positivity, there's so many. For people, as we said, there's better health, but also improved relationships. Your relationships with the people that love you, and even with people that you haven't even met yet, are going to be improved when you are more positive and you act more positively toward them.
Yeah, absolutely. And research has shown that when you are more positive, you're actually more creative. And that creativity spills over into the workplace and actually results in higher annual salaries.
Which is always a good thing. And we do a lot of work in corporations because these benefits of positivity translate in the corporate world in this way: lower healthcare costs. I mean, that's great. And low turnover rates. They lowers those. And we know that is a huge cost for companies, is when you have a higher turnover rate. If people are happier, employees are happier, they're going to stay longer.
Yeah, and improve morale. Who doesn't want to work in a workplace where there's higher morale and more productive employees? All corporations are looking for that.
Yeah. And so this is what we do. We do a lot of work into positivity and joy. And so how can we help you? And the first thing we want you to know is that we've learned this is really something that even we have to work at all the time. I mean, we talk about this all day long, and yet we slip sometimes, and we need to remind each other.
Yeah, it's so funny because we've been sort of dubbed the joy ladies, right? And of course we love that term, but we also have to remind people that it is a choice and it's an action, and it's not a check one and done. It's every day. You have to wake up and remind yourself to be more positive. And we call each other our positivity partners, and we always offer out to other people, we'd be happy to be your positivity partners as well.
Yeah, because we're not happy all the time. Right? Nobody is. You can't be. But we try to make a conscious choice. So the first thing we do a number of things, is mindset management workshops within the corporate world. And of course, we're doing them now virtually, which is so great. You talk about the silver lining. I mean, we weren't able to gather last year for this fantastic event, but we can this year. And so we're able now to go into corporations anywhere and help folks really in this time where we're struggling so much with, juggling working from home, kids at the dining room table trying to do their schoolwork, all those many things. So we're really thankful that we're able to go virtually now to be able to reach people and employees everywhere.
Yeah, and we have what we call our Well of Wisdom podcast, and that comes out on a weekly basis, and we cover a lot of different topics. We have experts on who talk to people about how to be more positive in their life, how to live a healthier lifestyle and improve your well-being. And that podcast can be found on 9 different platforms, including iTunes and SoundCloud.
And we do have twice a year retreats for women, and we're very, very excited because we're going to be doing our annual renewal retreat coming up April 18th at Belgate Farm, which is really, we're calling it an injection of positivity. And we're just so excited to be able to gather and we do a lot of exercises, workshop type exercises, so that the things that we talk about hopefully will become habitual for people when we give them the tools and show them how, again, based in the real science of positive psychology. We're working with Belgate Farm to make sure that it's going to be COVID safe. So if you'd like to attend, we'd love to have you, and you can find information about it on our website under the retreats tab. Right?
Yeah. And also on our website, you can find our online programs. And these are programs that you can do at your own pace. And so we have a Reboot You program, which sort of takes you through the process of how to raise your well-being and how to become more positive in life. And we also have a program called Filling in the Missing Piece. And it's PEAC. It's a little bit of a play on words, but it's about that inner peace.
Yeah. And these are, there's exercises, there's video elements, there's meditations. Kim does fabulous
Yeah.
meditations and lots of things in there that will really help you. We also have our books that have been really helpful. The first is The Power of a Pivot, excuse me. And what we meant by that was if you're not getting up every day and working hard to find joy, then stop and change directions and pivot hard the other way and make different decisions to try to find some joy, because it's that important.
Yeah, and then our second book, which was recently released, is The Power of a Pause. And ironically, we came up with this title before the pandemic, and we were really talking about sort of that intentional pause, right? We, as women in particular, we're going, and we don't ever take the time to sort of stop and rest and go inward for that self-development. And so we were talking about that sort of intentional pause, and then the whole world paused, right? And so then we added in some information about, those unintended pauses, right? Whether it's an illness or a death in the family or a pandemic.
Yeah. So, the one thing that I've learned is that living this way is really a lot better. It takes a lot of work, as many things do, but I found that choosing joy and being positive just infiltrates into every aspect of your life. So reach out to us. You can go to our website, thewisdomcoalition.com. Our email is findyourjoy@thewisdomcoalition.com. We'd love to hear from you, get your feedback.
Yeah, and of course, follow us on social media, and we would love for you to listen to our podcast and subscribe.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your kind attention, and we hope we've just given you a nugget or two about, what's so important about mindset and positivity and really making this decision in your life to choose joy.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Kim. At this point in the day, I have to agree, I'm coming back as a banana too. Just kidding. But I agree, positivity is key. So that was a great panel discussion. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Turn your camera and mic off. You guys were wonderful.